Hi and welcome to my review of the Potensic F181WH Wi-Fi FPV Quadcopter. All sounds a bit of a mouthful, but basically the package comes complete with Quadcopter itself. Nice looking drone actually, that one, and love the colour, metallic blue, brilliant colour. It's the only blue one I got, I think. You get the controller along with the smartphone holder, which is that little gadget there. You get two batteries, one is already in the drone, which is just there, and a spare one, both 750 milliamp 3.7 volt batteries. And I've noticed consistently that Potensic are one of the only companies that give you extra batteries, and I think it's a great policy. Love it. You get assorted screws, which are spare prop screws, and for attaching the legs, which also comes supplied in the package, which are those things there. I'll put those on shortly. It also comes supplied with prop guards, very useful indoors. I tend not to use them outside because they do affect the flight time and flight characteristics, but they're there anyway if you want to use them. Little bag of goodies. So you get the charger. It's a JST, mini JST connector to a USB, so you just plug that into your phone charger. 4 spare props. Some companies don't supply a complete set of props, so this is good. And you get a screwdriver to attach the legs and the props. You also get a couple of spare drive pinions just in case you have problems with those. And again, that's a good little extra thought. And of course, on top of all of that, you get the user manual, which is actually more of a user sheet rather than a book. It opens up to everything that you need in there. Fairly well translated, actually. It's not one of these ones that is sort of pidgin Chinese, if you like, or Chinglish. So yeah, quite a useful little user manual, particularly if you haven't used anything like this before. This is the quadcopter itself. Nice looking little quadcopter, and it's kind of the smaller cousin of the F183. It differs in that it's a 3.7 volt as opposed to a 7.4 volt quadcopter. Body shape obviously is quite different as well, but that's basically the same family that it comes from. Camera, which is a 720 HD camera. Battery goes into the battery compartment, which is underneath there, which again is a 3.7 volt battery. It's JST connections as opposed to the 183 being like a bespoke connection. This is better. I prefer JSTs because it does mean that you can swap the batteries about a bit. The battery is a 750 milliamp hour battery, which can give you up to around 7.5–8 minutes of flight time. There's an on-off switch, which is just underneath there. Lights, as you can see, look pretty bright in here. I did find that they weren't as bright on a bright sunny day, and certainly at a distance it's actually quite difficult to see them. The antenna for the camera, which is normally clipped into there, I normally unclip when I'm flying to give you a more vertical reception on the signal, and you tend to get a better signal by doing it that way rather than tucking it away like that. Onto the controller. You've got the clip for your smartphone, and your smartphone purely goes into there like that. And in fact, let's just show you what the Wi-Fi signal actually looks like in here, because it's very difficult to see outside because my phone screen is not so great. And there we go, the UFO app, and you can pretty much see. Anyway, hi there. So you can see what the drone's seeing basically, and actually lag wise, let's just adjust this camera up a little bit. slight lag, but actually that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. I wouldn't be flying FPV in trees with it, but for out and about, it's not too bad at all. If you're in a clear open space, you've got facility to take photos, take video, etc. on there. So you've got all sorts of functions on the app itself. I'll close that down for a moment. Aside from that, you've got the lights button. This turns the lights on the drone on and off. You've got the flip button. Oops, I've crashed. You've got the flip button. Press the button, it beeps. Move your direction, you get a flip in whichever direction you move. Trim buttons. There. These two buttons apparently aren't used on this particular drone. You've got your rates control, which you press, adjust, and then press again. You've got your auto land and auto start feature. You've got the headless mode, which is that one there, which also initiates a return to home. Oops, I'll just show you the display on there. So it shows you the rates, for instance, which are default at 50%. You can change those to whatever you want. And that pretty much concludes my bench review for the F181. I'm going to tag the flight test on after this video, so keep watching. Hi, and this is the flight test for the Potensic F181WH. Right, before I start, I'm going to pull this antenna down to give me as good a signal as possible. Turn the quadcopter and the controller on. And that's live. Start the recording. I'm going to use this battery with the timer as well, so you get a better idea on the flight time. Okay, auto start. Up. It's a smooth flyer. I have noticed a very slight shudder in the prop, so one's maybe out of balance, but having said that, it seems to be okay at the moment. It's a very smooth flyer. We're on 50% at the moment, so let's put it up. 77%. Oh yeah, notice the turns are a bit quicker. I'm trying to keep it low and within the camera line so you can actually see what I'm doing. And again, altitude hold in play. That's pretty good. Single-handed control. It lost a little bit there, but not a lot. Let's just bring it in so you can have a little look at it. Love the colour. As mentioned earlier on, I do find that it blends itself against the trees a little bit at a distance. Okay, that's for turning lights on and off. Let's try a flip. Okay, doesn't lose any height. It does those fairly confidently. Let's try a barrel roll if we can. Well, it's sort of a reasonable barrel roll. It sort of hesitated before it did it. Yeah, it sort of just gave itself a little bit of altitude there, I think. Levelled itself up before it initiated the flip. This has got headless mode and return to home, but in all honesty I never ever use those. The only time you might actually use headless mode is if you do get yourself disorientated, maybe in the trees or something. And it does give you an opportunity to set yourself up to come home again, but the return to home I honestly wouldn't use, because if you're not sure what orientation you'd set it up as, you can end up finding it's going towards the trees rather than away from the trees. You haven't got the power that you would have with its cousin, the 183, because it's only 3.7 volts as opposed to 7.4 volts. That's pretty nippy still. It's not supposed to be a sports machine anyway. But the altitude hold, I'm very impressed with. That works very well on the sort of quadcopter. But most of the time all I'm doing is really adjusting the yaw on the altitude. The only thing I do find is that while you're adjusting yaw, sometimes you inadvertently change the altitude, which is not a problem. I'm used to flying without altitude hold anyway, so it really is not an issue. Okay, let's get some high footage. The rate of climb isn't great. I can't actually see the warning lights from here, and I must be fairly short on flight time now, so I'm going to beat back down again. No, still okay. Still got some life in the batteries. Back down again. Oh, there we go, we've got flashing lights now. So again, let's adjust the camera. Come in a little bit. You've got a fair bit of flight time after the warning lights. Okay, let's bring it down a bit. Okay, final landing. Oops, wrong one. Bring it in a bit further. That's got loads of time after. Headless mode, beg your pardon. Okay, and bring it in. Are you going to auto land for me? Seems not. Maybe I've got to be a bit lower. So that is very strange. Well, I'm going to run these batteries right down and just see how much of a flight time I get. Well, that auto landing feature does not want to work. You get loads of time after that low warning light, low battery warning light. There we go, it's down. It did that by itself, so that wasn't bad. Right, stop the video. 7 minutes 51. That's pretty good. And it's, in fact, it says 8 minutes 24 on here. Right, so that's your flight characteristics of the Potensic F181WH Wi-Fi camera. I've yet to see how good the streaming is on this, but I will post a bit of footage on the final review video, along with sort of any other details such as confirmed flight time, etc. And that concludes my flight test for the F181WH. I hope that helps you guys. Thanks very much for watching.